Welcome back. We're getting very close to the end of this video series, and I'm going to conclude this video series by showing you guys how to export your 4D animation or create a video about your 4D scheduling or 4D animation. For this animation, I'm going to include everything. So if we try to expand the tree, there's going to be something like this. Make sure you select everything, and everything is going to show. And in order to do a timeliner in SynchroPro, we have to click the navigator and this animation. So here's our animation panel, and we also need an editor, which is under window and animation editor. So first, let's create a new animation, and we can basically just rename this if you already have it. If you do not have a new animation, you can always just add one. And I'm just going to rename this as a side tour. And this is the editor we are going to use for our animation. So first of all, we need to tell SynchroPro what is the starting point of this animation and what is the end point of this animation. So for example, if we would like to show the entire schedule from the beginning to the end, let's pick this one as our first task. That's a start, and I'm going to click a point right over here. Says oh, by the way, always select the side tool. That's why I'm not able to see this focus time on this animation editor. Click that, and here you can zoom in, zoom out by scrolling the wheel on the mouse. So in this case, the time from here to here is just 6 seconds. You can zoom in and zoom out. It looks like I already lost my focus time. Yeah, just drag to the left. Now this is my first point, and I also want to move the focus time to the end of this project. And then I need to pick another point on this timeline. So for example, if you would like to make a video for just 40 seconds, so this is 6 seconds, so up to this point that's already 30 seconds. Then I'm going to add another, for example, around 42 seconds right over here. Click. That's basically the start of the project to the end of the project duration. And in terms of the camera view, we need to set our camera view as well. So first, let's bring our focus time to the start of the project in the schedule window. And it looks like something is going on right over here. You can, for example, this is a start point. You want this to be at the beginning of the video. Just click that. Make sure you click. That's your first point of the view angle, and you can always show right over here. Just continue drag and drag through. So probably right over here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a different angle, and then I'll hit OK. And in between, there's some transition. So in interpolation type, there are lines, step, and a curve. So oftentimes I just use a line. That basically means between this point to this point, it's a linear interpolation. So the transition is by linear interpolation. So for example, for the focus time, if for the first 12 seconds you basically want to show this portion of the construction, you can add another focus time point right up here. So basically that means in between those 12 points you will have also linear interpolation in terms of the visualization of your animation. That means I'm going to spend a lot of time to play this portion of the construction. Let's keep drag through, and then I will say right over here I'm going to add another angle, and I'm just going to continue to use the interpolation type as the line. Then for the last point, I want to show something at this angle. And what I'm going to do is, for the last point, I'm going to use a turntable. So turntable basically means you have to select one object. Let me first deselect all. It looks like I didn't select anything. Now I just click this roof and I say, okay, I want this to be the rotating point, and I can select turntable. So what turntable really means is basically that your video is going to rotate around this one. Alright, so I'm going to hit OK. So now you can kind of like preview your animation by dragging this focus time in your animation editor. So those are kind of like the basics for you to create a 4D animation, but it actually takes a lot of time for fine-tune in order to get a really good 4D animation video. So now let's pretend I'm okay with this animation. Now I want to export this out to a video. Then right click the side tool animation you just created and export animation. So you have some selected 3 that will be colored as selected ones. When would you like to unselect them before? Yes, I would like to unselect them before. Yes. Then you can set up your resolution. So for example, if I just wanted this to be 720p, basically this is the width and the height for the 720p resolution. Of course you can always go higher, but the consequence is that your file is going to be larger. I try to change the compression in which the code, but whenever I change, my computer crashes, so I'm not going to do anything. I'm just going to use the default one. The content, that's where you can change the layout, location, where you want the content to be. For example, if you want this logo to be away, just clear that. This is the focus time. The task, the resource, I don't want this to show. The 3D list, I don't want this to show. Timeline, if you want timeline, you can always put there. The Gantt chart, I don't want this to show. So I want my 3D video. It's right over here. Sometimes it's they are stacking on top of each other. I'm going to put this at the top and put this at the bottom. It really depends on what you would like to show. I can drag this For example, if you don't want this, you can even just make this go away, so that it will just give you a little more space to work with the video. Then when you are done with the arrange the layout of your video, then you can go back to the resolution and then hit the export. Of course, you can always include some other stuff in your video. For example, if you would like to use soundtrack, you can use that setting. When we are done, basically we can start exporting. There's a technical glitch with this software. I always have to use my tab key on my keyboard and then I try to hit enter, then I think it will start exporting. It looks like I have some problem with my computer, but if you guys don't have any issues with the codec, and I believe you should be able to export your video into AVI. That's it for this video.